Hey everybody, Captain B in another episode of the Blue Tourtuga. Day 15 of the adventure. And today, I think we're just going to enjoy the sunshine. It's 27, 28 degrees. It's really warm again, and I think we're just going to hang out and not do too much. One thing we're going to try and do is track our order. I placed an order in West Marine, and you can see behind me, on the boat, one of the window covers is flapping, and that's because one of the little suction cups has come up. And nobody has these things in stock, so I placed an order on West Marine, and we're going to try and track that order today to see where it's at. And I might show you some other nifty stuff around the boat. So these are little snap fittings they just stick onto the window, and it allows you to put the window coverings and snap them on. And well, we placed the order 3 days ago. Customer service is not open at West Marine, and there's no order confirmation that they shipped, even though we paid the extra. And you can see what this does is the window covering just flaps out there, and in the evening, of course, it just hangs down, and the wind sort of moves it around because we're missing the top one. If it was a bottom one, it wouldn't be so bad, but we'll see. The marina said it shouldn't be any problem to have parts shipped here, but of course the order hasn't shipped, so right now that's not looking so good. So we'll just have to put up with it for another couple of days. So I think we're just going to hang out at the boat today, but what better way to start your day of hanging out with, you guessed it, Sunday brunch. We had 2 eggs, ham, hash browns, side of sausage, and toast. Now this is styling before the football games. So brunch is done, and we're just hanging out at the boat. And some of you are probably wondering, how do you spend such a long time, weeks on end, in such a small boat? So I figured I'd give you a tour of the boat today. So here we go. So we'll start at the back end of the boat, and you can see we keep the swim platform clear all the time. And whenever we can, we keep the engines out. So when we got here, we did wash all the salt off the boat and get the engine out of the water, and we keep them both out, and that way the salt doesn't get to them. And we keep, like I said, we keep that swim platform clear so that we can get in and out at our leisure, and obviously with the dog. So what do we have here? Our bio lights. So one of the first things we do in the morning is I set these out here in the sun, and I use them in the evening to light up the cockpit. They got a nice little glow to them. It's not too bright, and they've come in pretty handy. So we've got the door open right now, and if the dog is out here, we'll keep it closed, but most of the time we keep that little side door open. And you'll notice we got the canvas all closed up, and that's because there's too much sun. So right now in the morning, I take out the door panel at the back, and I keep all the other panels closed until the sun switches sides in the afternoon, at which point I'll open up a couple of sides and get some more breeze coming in here. So you'll see that this aft bench is folded out, and that's where one of us will sit for dinner every night. And you can see the top of the grill here at the back makes a nice platform, so we can always set up dinner and plates and glasses and whatnot back here. And then one of us will sit on the fold out seat, and the other one, usually me, I will sit on the Yeti cooler. So every morning we usually get a bag of ice from the marina, and I will drain the water out of the Yeti and add a bag of ice. Next to it we have, I'll fold this up, and you can see that that's where we store our shoes as well, underneath that seat. So the starboard side is for the dog. You can see we got our boat hooks there, and we have the mat for the dog. And next to the Yeti cooler, we have the dog's water bowl, and she'll come in and out and come get a sip whenever she needs, and she knows it's there. On the port side of the boat, we have the stroller. So that's where we fold up the stroller and keep it there until we need it. And you can see that behind we have our extra fenders and dock lines. And I've also got the gas can for the dinghy, which we really haven't used much. In front of that we have the door. And behind the door is our aft cooler. And we usually we've got some orange juice and some water and a few cans of beer in here, but we still got plenty. Oh, there's an extra key lime pie too. So, and we got some frozen chicken strips that are pre-cooked for the dogs. So that's what we keep in the little fridge back here. And with the door closed, we have lots of room. And I think that this has made a huge difference to this boat, is the canvas enclosure back here. We spend almost all of our time back here, and if it wasn't for the enclosure, we'd be out in the elements, baking in the sun, not being able to get any privacy at night. So this has really made a difference to really grow this boat and add an extra room to the whole project. So really pleased. I think that was one of the biggest, best investment decisions we did. You know, the canvas enclosure did cost about $8,000 to get all done, but that was really worth it to give us that additional living space. So let's go inside and take a look. All right, so I've opened the door, and you'll notice dead front in front of me is the berth at the other end. You'll notice we have that privacy panel. And there's actually a second piece to it to close off the top. We don't really use that, but that privacy panel allows us to keep the boat open during the day and get changed for into our swim trunks or whatnot. So again, we've got the door open, and as we come in, we'll go to the starboard side, and there's the dinette. So on the like, we really haven't used the dinette for eating at all, not much, a few times. But you'll see that we keep the life bag and the laptop bags, MJ's purse, on the one seat. We've got the table with a few odds and ends on it. And when we're underway, I usually like to flip this over, and we keep the laptop sitting on the table, and we have the two extra cup holders, but more importantly, the grab handle when we have to get in and out. You'll notice underneath the table is our supplies. So we've got the garbage bag that we always hang there, and then we have these totes with our dry goods. We've got our coffee and crackers and cookies and the rum bottles, and we have in the back, you can't see that, but we also keep our snorkeling gear is back there, and there's the foot pump for the dinghy, garbage bags and Ziplocs. So we keep all that underneath the dinette table. And then next to that is the microwave, and there's my seat that I pilot from. And of course, I've moved the back rest towards the front of the boat, and that gives us just a little bit of storage. I usually keep the GoPro there, as well as phones. We keep that on the table, and you see there's lots of room. And then we get to the pilot station, right? And you'll see that right now I've got the stereo going, and it's a 2 zones. I'll turn that down a bit. And what we do is in this area, you'll notice in the back, that's where I store the 2 folding fishing rods, and that's where we keep our clothes bags, our Osprey bags. So we have my bag, the blue one, MJ's bag, and the black one being the shower bag. On top of the console, I usually keep my hat, maybe a book or 2. We keep the binoculars I like to take out every now and then. That's the GoPro mount that we use to film when we're underway. And then we get the MJ station. So crew MJ station is pretty packed. So when we're not underway, I'll usually keep the laptop there, keeping an eye on the score of the football games. We have our laundry bag, and MJ will keep some sandals and shoes. And we have our sea sucker pouch. Well, you can obviously see I store the big fishing rod is there. And this is a sea sucker. These things are fairly expensive, but a really nice addition to the boat. So this has a pump, and it's a suction cup, a very like an industrial version suction cup that's back here. And in here, MJ keeps the backup VHF, and we have the backup GPS, and then she usually keeps a few other things in here. And really handy. It's really right in front of her, so when we need it, it's accessed right away. This thing is coming really handy, really pretty neat. So you'll see the fishing rod over on this side, and then what we do is we've got the kitchen counter, and like everybody else, we got all kinds of, you know, soap, salt, pepper. We've got the lantern that I use in the back in the evening when I need to close things up and need to see what I'm doing. You've got wine and bread. In the drawers, of course, we've got all our cutlery and knives. We've got scissors, cooking utensils, skewers. This is sort of a utility drawer with flashlight. We have bug spray, Leatherman tool, and I keep some bungees in here. Our manuals for the boat go down here, as well as fire extinguishers and safety equipment. Oops. Who put that there? So we've got dishes, and then paper plates. We've been using mostly those, but when we need to, we've got bowls and Corel plates that we have with us. And you can see there's still lots of room to store stuff in here. Down here is what I call my electrical. We have the pots and pans that we use to cook, but we've also got the spotlight, power cords, and rechargers and things in there. We saw the stove in one of the previous episodes. And in here is where we store our coffee cups, plastic cups and utensils, all disposable throwaway stuff. You'll notice the fan. This is like the best purchase we added to this boat besides the enclosure, is a $20 fan. And you'll see who's right there in her cubby with all that room. And underneath, next to Kraken, we have fold-out chairs. We've got the Magma barbecue. We've got life jackets. We have fishing tackle. We have extra life jackets for swimming. So all of this storage goes all underneath here. So that's a look at the cabin. You'll know, I guess I should show you the hatches as well, because right now we don't have the AC, but we have 4 hatches giving us air, as well as the 2 side windows in here. So even though it's really warm outside, we try and take advantage of the breeze with all these hatches. So let me go show you the berth. Okay, so down in the berth, well, we have sort of my side of the bed, because I use the backrest here to sleep, because I do sleep sitting. And we have this railing all the way around that allows us to put little knickknacks. Kraken usually sleeps way down at the end at my feet, and we've got the cover to protect the bed. But over on this side, you'll see this is where we have all our storage. So we've got a closet, and we have our jackets and some warm gear, but we haven't had to use that at all. And next to it is our TV, and I've been trying to watch movies every night. We have the coffee maker is here, and we store our most of our toiletries and medication and sunscreen and all that. I've got a Sean Connery collection on the go, and I was watching Dr. No last night. Didn't watch all of it, but I'll finish watching it tonight. And in here we have all our books, and we've got videos, Trading Places, which I watched the other night. Great movie. And then underneath the bed, we've got lots of storage room, and we put our shoes and some extra bags. You probably can't see that, but way in the back is the toolkit, the Milwaukee toolkit that you saw in previous episodes. And then there's an extra bag here, which is all extra toiletries and medication and all that kind of stuff, because we brought one of everything with us. And we've got another little cubby over here where we store the vacuum. And that's pretty much the forward berth. And I'll just quickly show you the bathroom. So a bathroom is a bathroom, nothing really exciting about that, but we do have storage underneath the sink for extra toothpaste and whatnot. One of my favorite things here is we have this little mirror on the side that folds out. Old-fashioned, but it really does the trick. We have not used the shower in here at all, but what I wanted to show you was down here was our bucket. And this is our Yeti bucket. And what's really cool about the Yeti bucket is it fits right there in the corner of the bathroom, and we keep all of our cleaning supplies in there. So I've got all the vinyl cleaner for the windows at the rear canopy. We've got Windex for the front windshield, general purpose cleaners. We've got deck cleaner for the decks of the boat when we need it, and all of that and the rags all stay within this Yeti bucket right here that fit right in the corner of the bathroom. So that was really pretty cool, and we were lucky that that all fit. And that's just the sink, so that's sort of the bathroom. So you can see that even with all of that stuff, there's still lots of room left in the boat. It's actually really pretty amazing. So having the 3 zones makes a big difference. The berth in the front with the washroom, and then the cabin, which is sort of a living space that we can enclose and keep private with all the window coverings closed, and of course the cockpit at the back, which when it's screened off and closed really gives us that 3rd zone. Having 3 zones to live in, I think, makes a big difference in such a small boat. But as you saw, there's lots of room in some of these cubbies. We could actually add stuff if we wanted to. Not that we need it. I'm actually finding that we probably brought too much of everything. We've got probably too many snacks and things that we really haven't used or thought of, and probably too much clothes as well. So, but it's really comfortable, and now I get to enjoy the rest of the day. This afternoon's activity, vinyl window washing. Job well done. Hard work is over. Let's go to the pool. Very quiet at the pool again today, so we'll take a dip and cool off after all that hard work in the boat. So it's our first trip into town in the evening. Things have settled down now that New Year's has gone by, so we're gonna cruise a little bit, explore, and go get our dinner. authentic Cuban cuisine for dinner tonight. MJ's getting the takeout. Cuban night. So tonight is Cuban night and we're gonna have dinner, and what are we gonna have? Well, we are gonna have the sampler called the Completa de Caballo Grande, and we are gonna have lechon asado, which is it's a traditional roasted Cuban pork marinated in cumin and mojo sauce, and we're gonna have that with ropa vieja, which is old clothes. And what that means is a shredded skirt steak with red and green peppers, tomatoes, and onions. And we are going to have picadillo habanero, which is a savory ground beef with onions, garlic, and bell peppers. All of this with plantains and yellow rice. And tonight is Cuban night. So we're going to enjoy our dinner. I don't think Kraken's going to have any of this, but we'll give it a try. So until tomorrow, this is Captain B saying keep the bottom side wet and the top side dry.